So next thing is just try as much as possible to capture. Next time I'm possible to capture this. Capture a lot of this. Then start from here. Shaders. So when you are applying your shaders, make sure you apply them in a way that you see them in real life. For instance, if you are applying a brick to this looks like a normal size a brick should be. It shouldn't be bigger like this. No, a brick doesn't look like this in real life. So you should try to be realistic with how you apply materials. So if you are going to use this, you make sure you have scaled it perfectly. Then if you are dealing with glasses, trying to get the glass. Okay, you are dealing with glasses too. Okay, let's use this. Then for glasses, you should know that they are always transparent. So if you want to understand the basics of how this works, in transparency, if you drag it to white, that means it will become very, very transparent. But if you drag it to black, it's no more transparent. So for glass, you have to make sure they are transparent at least, even if it's not up to the end. Just make sure they are transparent. Same thing for reflection. If it's on white, it's reflecting very well, but if it's on black, there's no more reflection. I hope you get that. If it's on white, yes, you have reflection, but if it's on black, there's no more reflection. So we need reflection here, and I'm cutting that. So let's put it to blue here, and also take this to blue. Then this pencil transition is telling you which one do you want to have more power, transparency or the reflection. I want the reflection to have more power than the transparency. The reflection should take over than transparency. So you can see it's reflecting the environment, and at the same time it's transparent. For you to know it's transparent, let's try to drag an object in. Drag it here. Okay. Then drag this in here. So as you can see now, you can see a bit of the chair of the sofa in it. So you come back to your shaders and check the transparency. Okay, so you can still see our sofa in it. You can see the sofa in it. Okay, I think I'm trying to just get where the sofa is. just have to be sure. Sorry. Okay. Let's check this again. Okay, so I'm sure now. It was a bit too transparent and too reflective, so you couldn't see the sofa very well. Okay, so let me know if you got that. Okay, bro. So the first thing you should do is make sure that you set your view right. First, you make this bigger and make it fit your screen. You increase this. I think this is okay. This fits. Then you come to your 2D window. Make sure you can see your plan and all your elevations. So with that, you can set your camera to make it parallel like this. Then bring it down, then you can bring this down more again, bring this down, then come back to this. You just make sure you use your 2D window to set your camera the way you want it. Understand? You can use it to set your camera. Then make sure this is always turned on. It makes your edges straight. If you check it well, you can see this line here is bent. So if you turn this on to make it straight. So delete all unnecessary views. You need only this to work on for now. So make sure you set your camera right. Once you set your camera right, there's no more problem again. You can begin your work. Okay, so we'll be applying floor shaders to this. Let's say we use this, drag it and drop here. Then you reduce the size. Let's say 200. Okay, that's too small. 300. Okay. So once you see that the scale is enough, as in not too big and not too small, just being realistic. It still needs to be big. Okay, then click on this mix and we drag it down to black to check if it's okay. And the texture is not really matching to what we want. So we can try something else. Let's say we use this. Put this on 90. looking at the scale of this, I think it's okay. So what you do is add a little bump. You can either add bump to the left or add to the right, but it's better to add to the left because it's all about ingress and outgress. So add it to the left and make sure the normal is almost to the end. Then on all your materials, always put on the shyness. The reflection is optional unless you want it to have a reflected surface. That's when you can turn that on, but let's leave it for this. Then for most of the materials, you always mix a bit of darkness on them. You don't always want them to be too sharp because the sun is still going to do its own. So once that is done, then check this for the glass material. Let's just put the material on it. It should be small. Then a bit of darkness on it too. The sun will still do its own. It's light. The sun will still light everything up. So for these two, a bit of darkness. Just darken the colors a bit. So this, you can use white instead. For these two, you can just, for this material now, the mullions, which is this, you can just drag directly on it and add a bit. Okay, there's already reflection on it. So this, if you click on this glass, it should be on glass. It should have a bit of reflection too. Just make sure you take your time and discover which needs light, which doesn't need light. So that will be that on shaders. So okay, so make sure that all textures that need bump, you have applied bump to them. This brick here too, it also need to have bump on it. So make sure it's turned on. You need bump so the displacement of the bricks can come out. So like I said, we only make use of materials that look realistic. So for instance, if I were to add a man object, it has to be something very okay and good to use. See, I add this. Okay, you can move in from here to anywhere you want. Do you get that? So say I want to add a car. So you have to just think realistic that what could be done in real life and what is not possible in real life. So that has to be applied here. Next thing we'll do now is we'll work with the sun. So for the illusions, that is where you set the sun, the shadow, sky, and all. So for this, what you just have to do is set it on this manual, on the manual. So you set it on manual, I'm supposed to use 45 degree, but we still use the manual to set it on. So come here, you drag this, make sure the some bits on the building from this angle. You understand? Then you look for the frontage of the building too. Okay, the frontage of the building, make sure it's on 45 degrees. So once you have set that, then you come over here to the sun. Just make sure it's on -20. -20. Then the shadow, drag that. Drag that all the way to the end. All the way to the end. Then let's just put it on 40. That on 40. The sky can be left alone. Doesn't really make any difference. Can be left alone. So the next thing you do is go to perspectives. Then we'll set all the render parameters as they should be. First you come to this, you turn on mix color, you turn on the edges, and you drag, because of this, you drag the paint effect to 0, so that disappears. Then you put this on 10, so once that is done, you put your contrast on 2 and your brightness on 2. So always do OK for all, so in case we have other views, it's going to apply the same settings to everybody. Click on OK for all, then you come all the way to render parameters. Then here you can just set on the HD. So this could be on 150. This should always be on high. Should always be on high. Then the eye radiosity should always be on high. Then the physical camera, set it on exterior. And you see it brightens up. Set it on exterior. Then your ISO should be on 100 and this on 200. Then your attenuation on 0.50, and color bleeding is left on that. And you see your scene now. So you click on OK for all. So the next thing you do now is I'm going to drag in an HDRI background into here. So I'll fish that out now. HDRI, okay. Drag it into here. Wait for it to load. So double click on this, then you click on this. Okay, then you can bring out the brightness and turn on the lighting. okay for all. This is the ground material, so you just right click and uncheck this to make that disappear. Okay, can you see what we have here now? So you only use realistic materials. You only use realistic materials. So I'm going to end this now and wait for the next one. Okay, bro. So from all I've done now, you should take note of the most important things. One, if you're applying your shaders, you have to be very attentive to the scale. You check this now. Scaling it to the human is too big, so you have to scale it down. You use this foot to check the scale. So that's one of the things you can just try to work on. 700. So we are using his foot to check the scale now. So, and if there is need to move any object, you click on it and you should be able to drag it from here. And then if you are going to add a tree, you make sure you use only realistic trees, not just anyhow trees and plants. So this is too big now, you have to scale it down. Then I hope you still know how to copy and paste. You hold down the Alt key, hold it down. Once you hold down the Alt key, you will see a plus symbol on this. Then once you hold down the Alt key, you drag, so it has duplicated that. So we got that. And likewise, if you are adding a tree, once you drag and drop, you can then increase the size. So make sure your bumps are on your materials. Your bumps are always included all the time. Your bumps are always included. Then for lights, if you are going to add a light into your building, first you create a light group. Once you create a light group, then you add a light in it. So if you have added the light, you should see this orange, round orange line also here too. So first thing you do is you drag the angle to 360. Then you drag the shadow to the end. So you then be able to drag your light into where you want it. So you can always check your elevation to make sure it's at the right spot that you want it to be. So once it's at the right spot, you pick a color for your light. Then you can increase this. Can you see what's happening there now? Can you see what's happening? So what you do for this is you click on the glass, then the transparency, you turn it down. Turn it down. The reflection. toned up. So can you see that? So there's a light in the interior scene of this, and you can see we're having a nice view here. And any tree that doesn't look realistic to your scene, this remove it. It's better to render with something good than something bad. So there are nice trees you can use. So for your sun, you can apply it any way you want it. This 20 can bring it up to this. If you are going to increase your sun, just make sure you tone it down from here. Tone it down from here. So that's all I was telling you then, that everything works together. You just have to know how it works. So everything relates to each other. So okay for all. From here you can start bringing up different views again. With the material, with the settings you have used earlier. You can start using the same settings for your other views. So let me know if you understand this very clearly. Okay, so in case of any mistake from your shaders or while applying materials, you can fix it by going to here. Then you click on this. This is better. Select by plane. So click on it. Then you select by the plane. You can see that. So once you have selected, let me use a different side instead. No. Okay. Then click on OK. Warning: this action cannot be undone, because it can't be undone. Once you do it, you have done it. So click on yes. So you can just pick an existing material, then hold down the Alt key and drag this on this. So you have a different material for there. Okay, this will come in handy at any time. When you have to do a night render, you simply tone all this down. This will also be toned down. Then this has to be changed. Okay. is work with the lights. The lights are all you need. For everything you need lights. For instance, for this, you need the red light. So even I'll come here, click on lights. You want to control the lights, then click on the Alt key to duplicate this up. So that's up. I'll come to the camera view again and duplicate that to this other side too. Can reduce the power of the light from there, and this one we have here too. You can duplicate that over here. So at the same time, you can have a free light just standing at the center of your scene. You can have free lights anywhere in your scene. You can also bring it down here where your man stands. And at the same time, you could just bring up your light objects. Let's see this. So you can edit its light. You can see. And give it a light cone. You can change the type of light, the highest light. So just depends on how you practice more on this, then you have a better hang of it. So with all I've done now for the exterior, I think you should understand a lot by now. So if you have any questions, you can throw it to me so I'll know what to do next.